So I was going to ask you this question later on, but since we're kind of like already within this area, you wrote a song called Dad.
I did.
That's released off your 2001 album Hungry, right? And that song is pretty insightful and emotional. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of hard to listen to. I'm not going to lie to you. It was kind of, cuz like it's very vivid, like you know what I'm saying? Like you could really kind of see the stuff that you're describing, and it sounded like, I know that you said that you love your dad so much and everything, but at the same time it kind of seemed like you guys kind of had a little bit of a volatile relationship too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we was at each other's throats constantly because I'm sorry, finish with my bad, man. I got a bad habit.
No, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. That's
my dad's day consisted of, he'd wake up extremely like fucking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you know what I mean? Like the nicest guy in the world. Like, hey, son, how you doing, man? Like, come here, come sit down and talk to your dad. Like this and that. Like he was the warmest guy in the world, and it was just like, oh my God, you're an incredible fucking person when you're sober. You're incredible. Like you're not just cool, you're incredible. You have the biggest heart. But then he would start drinking immediately. Like when he woke up, he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have some coffee, drink it with this, put some booze in the coffee. And then he was always just booze and water, like the whiskey and water. And as the days started to go by, my dad's attitude just started to decline and decline and decline and decline and decline until he until he passed out at the night. So he was, you know, he went from this wonderful person in the morning, like his true colors. You know what I'm saying? You could see this guy was just amazing. Like he was so good to be around.
That's who he really wanted to be.
That's who. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he wanted to be that. That's just who he was by default. When he was sober, that's the guy he was. He was heartwarming. He was thoughtful. He was everything that comes along with just being a nice person. But by the middle of the day and getting into the night, he was like, he wasn't abusive. He was never, I mean, he was physically abusive for sure, but he never tried to like fuck with me or fight me or put hands on me or nothing. Like he was never like that, but he was verbally like crazy abusive. In a sense of where he would just be mean as fuck from the alcohol. It would change his brain. And it's like, I always look at people, when people are like, oh man, I get aggressive when I drink tequila or some shit like that. I'm like, shut up, man. Like you get like alcohol does that. It's not a specific type. I don't believe that anyway. I don't believe that people get aggressive off of one certain type of thing. I think that's all in people's heads, but whatever. That's my little argument towards that. But what we're really talking about is alcohol just does that in general, and the way it would make him think and feel and react to things. Like he was just mean, bro. He was a mean ass drunk, and that's what he chose to be for the majority of the day, was drunk. He would be like, he'd get up, start drinking until he passed out. And that's just how
he would work. He would work intoxicated too.
He would. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He lost his job. No. Let me take that back. He was forced to retire because he retired at, I think he was younger than I am now when he retired, because he got caught drinking on the job. And they gave him 2 outs. They were like, we can fire you or you can retire right now and start receiving your pension. Because, you know, like working at Steering GM, General Motors,
he was the good old days of that pension.
He was, but he was getting paid a lot more to work. So it kind of fucked him over when he had to start living off a pension. Even though his pension was good. It was like, wow, you getting this much a month.
I'm just saying nowadays they don't give pensions like, you know what I mean, in general anymore for a lot of places that you work, you know. So those were the days where like that was an actual thing.
He got that pension. He waited. Oh God, man. We in that household, man, we was waiting so patiently for that first of the month to come around, because that's the day he got paid. And that's when he got paid his full pension. It's not like they gave him to him in increments. They gave his full pension to him. So when he first got it, boom, we could go grocery shopping. Boom, we could go get something to eat. Like let's go to let's go to a nice restaurant. Like, boom, let's do this. Maybe even go to the mall and get some new clothes or some shit. And then the rest of it, I swear to God, was liquor and cocaine. Liquor and cocaine. Liquor and cocaine. That's, that's how he... Oh, man, it's crazy. There's so many stories in my pops, like all this shit. I could tell so many fucking stories. But yeah, he where were we at?
Well, the song Dad, right?
Oh yeah.
There's one thing that really stands out is that you would come out at 3 a.m. to talk to him while he was already knocked out and everything. And it seemed like that was the time that you could really tell him how you felt.
Oh yeah, I was like talking, like beating a dead horse, but at least I could be honest with him. It's almost talking to someone that's in a coma or something. Like, they're not gonna hear you, but at least you get to whatever kind of
relief that you get from hearing yourself say it out loud, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you can't do it when he's drunk, or else he's gonna come at you like shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, extremely defensive. And you can't do it when he's just waking up in the morning and he's got this, like, he's not drunk. And for some reason, my pops never got hangovers. Like, he never was sick. He was never, like, I never ever seen my dad be like, oh, I was just not feeling good. Like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? My dad, it was just such a routine to where he would wake up great and then start drinking through the day and just slowly decline until he passed out. And then the next day was the same thing. And so, yeah, like, there was nothing I ever wanted to do. I would never want to start a fight with him when he was feeling good in the morning, when he was acting nice and being cool and being his normal self. You know what I mean? Like, what he was meant to be if he had never started drinking alcohol. So
it seems like it's kind of like a mind fuck, because it's like Jekyll and Hyde, basically. Like, in the morning, he's a completely different person and he's who you want him to be, right? Like, he's the ideal version of a father, like who you want in your life. And it's like, how can I tell you that you're treating me like I'm a piece of shit when you're drunk and stuff, but right now, like, you're so enjoyable to be around. Like, I just want to enjoy this moment.
Absolutely, bro. Those are the moments where my dad would be like, come here, man, give me a hug, man. Or he'd be like, Sean, like, because he used to call me Shawnee all the time. And he'd be like, Shawnee, come, come sit down, come talk to me, man. Come talk. Like, you could hear the what's the word? How genuine he really actually wanted to talk to me. Like, I think of how I am with my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, come here, man. Like, I do the same shit. I don't drink or do nothing like that, but I'm like, come here, man. Like, come talk to me, or I'll fuck with him. And, he's 7, so we'll wrestle and we'll do all that type of shit. And it's just like, I remember my dad being like that with me in the morning. Not wrestling. I was too old for that, but like he would fuck with me. He would joke with me. He would be like a dad, you know what I mean? And then And then as the day went by, it turned it into some darker shit. So where he was like, oh, fuck you. Like, but you know what I can say though, is my dad, even in his poverty of spending his check in the first 10 days of getting it and fucking the next 20 days of the month were broke as fuck. In that, and in his the most of the day being drunk and belligerent and upset, you know what I'm saying, being that guy, I can also say, just like I can say about my mom, there was nothing my dad, if I needed it, there was nothing my dad wouldn't do. My dad has bought me cars. I mean, not like he ain't go out and buy me new cars and no shit like that, but he's like,
he was there for you when you needed him.
He was absolutely my mom and my dad. Even if we were having the most what you call it, like toxic relationship, because there's been toxicness through with me and her and me and him separately,
right?
But if I would have needed something, or if I would have wanted something so bad because I needed it or some shit, I don't know, like there was very little times that my dad would say no, like, nah, fuck that, I ain't gonna do that for you. He would, if I caught him at the right time in the morning and made him understand why I was asking for what I was asking for, whether it was like something for a car or some shit like that, or just being like, yeah, let's go do something, man. Like we've been bummy as hell. Like we need new clothes, dude. Like let's go to the mall. we go to the mall and he'd buy me like a fucking new Adidas outfit or some shit, like a zip up outfit, like with the
right.
And he would get
the track suits.
Yeah, like, but I used to love Adidas back in the day. But yeah, like he would never. He never left me hanging, man. I'm gonna tell you a crazy story about my pops, how big his fucking heart was, dude. And it's a weird story to tell, but I tell this to anybody that I know that wants to know about my dad and how big of a fucking heart he had. And I don't care if this makes me look crazy or whatever, but I just want people to know that, like, regardless of any of the shit that I ever talk about my dad, or if I ever put him in a bad light like I am right now, he was still such a fucking wonderful human being with the biggest heart. And I feel like that's where I get, even though the majority of the time I was around this guy that really wasn't him, and he was an asshole. He was belligerent. He was verbally abusive. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was these things. He was not likable at all. We were always butting heads. But I was 19 years old, right? My kid had just been born. Like I said earlier when we were talking about my biological mom, like I was a promiscuous kid. Like that was the thing. Pulling chicks was like the pastime. Like that was obviously for any of us, right? Like
right.
So anyway, but back then I was so stupid. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna, fuck unprotected out here, just hitting anything, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was the stupidest shit. Like I was having fun while I was doing it, but then my conscience hit me when I was 19, and it was like, man, you got with a lot of girls, bro. Like, you probably got something. And then my mind just started spiraling, and it was like, you probably got AIDS or some shit, man. Like you. And then I started, because I'll be the first to admit I'm a fucking what's it called? hypochondriac.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this, I thought that I was like sick, and I was even going to the health department and getting like, I got like 4 tests, and something was wrong with my brain. Maybe it was God trying to teach me a lesson or something, but all my tests were coming back negative, and the doctor was like, bro, you're good. So I was like 19 at the time, and it was during the summer, and I couldn't believe the tests for some reason. Like I was like, no, that something might have happened. Like, knowing me, I'm the one with the worst luck that would have something happen where like test results got switched. And so I would go back and get another test. And all in all, through the whole summer, this 3 months of summer, I got 3 tests or 4 tests saying that, no, you don't got the shit. You're good. But for some reason, I couldn't believe that. And I was a nervous wreck, bro. I think it was like movies like Kids, like how that one kid, Telly, or not Telly, or whatever his name is, he had the HIV or some shit. Do you remember that movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it was things like that made me kind of like rethink how I had been living my life since I lost my virginity up until 19. And I'm just like, damn, I gotta have something. I probably got the worst shit. And you can ask my friends, bro, my friend MC and my sis, Alana, not my real sister, but I call her sis. Like, they lived with us at the time, and there was a couple. So they wasn't trying to like talk to me and like calm me down and shit like that. But I was so fucking paranoid. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I lost like 30 pounds that summer because I worried myself so sick that I actually got sick, bro. Like, I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't eat. All I wanted to do was like drink water, like, liquids, shit like that. And every night, like, so by then we had moved out of the condo and moved into another crib. And for some reason, I was 19 and I was acting like a little fucking kid, bro. I didn't want to sleep alone. And my dad he slept on the couch. So imagine how small a couch is. And I'm not I'm big now, but like when I was 19, I was a little dude. I'm only 5'6". So, but he would let me. I'd be like, Dad, can I just lay on the couch with you, man? Like, just so I could feel like I'm close. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, yeah, absolutely. Come on, man. And so he would let me lay on the fucking couch next to him, and I'm sitting here and I can't sleep. And I'm almost like to the point where I'm shaking, or I was shaking, because I'm so scared about, like, it was a constantness of being afraid, and for no reason, but I was still afraid. And like, what other guy is gonna let you do that? You know what I'm saying? That was my dad. He was like and then, he might like pat me on the shoulder and just be like, hey man, it's okay, Shawnee. It's gonna be okay. Like, he realized how fucking twisted this shit made me feel, and how sick I was at the moment just from what I was going through mentally. And yeah, so that's my dad. He wasn't the guy that was like, you can't lay on this couch with me. First of all, it's too little. Second of all, like, nah, man, you're 19 years old, bro. Like, get out of here. Like, he literally, as an adult, let me lay opposite of him on the couch, and it was just like, wow, this shows his character, his true character. You know what I mean? And that's the way if my son was 19, that's what I would do for him if he was in a situation like that where he was scared out of his mind for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, I would comfort him as much as I possibly could to make him be able to get through it. And that's what my pops did. So he does have a huge heart. You know what I'm saying? or he did
It seems
have a
like
huge.
it seems like you kind of got like obsessive, compulsive kind of like thoughts at times.
At times, yeah, bro. I mean, I think I was diagnosed with a little bit of that. I definitely was diagnosed with anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, and depression. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was, and then when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, that attention deficit
Yeah, I
shit.
kind of picked up on that because like I can tell by like the way that you get like on like one track minded on certain things or like the way
Shut
that you
up,
talk about
man.
certain stuff.
Bro, I swear to God. And I apologize to whoever's listening to this.
I don't think that everybody picks up on that. It's just because like I study psychology
Okay.
in college. Like that's my what my degree is in. So if you analyze our conversation so far, you can see why my questions are geared the way that they are.
I understand. Okay. That's cool. This is actually a great conversation or interview. And even the things that you know about, like you're just as good as what's his name? Sean on fucking Hot Ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Everybody says he's such a great host because he like studies his people like that he's interviewing that are going through the whole wing challenge. But anyway, yeah, man. So I apologize to anybody that's listening to this or anybody that's ever heard an interview from me or that ever will hear an interview from me. I am long-winded. I get lost in what I'm saying. I'll come back and be like, what were we talking about again? Because I'll just go like, bro. So
PANDA. But you know, it's really helpful though, because like I'm a type of person of like the way that I structure my interviews. I like a lot of details because I'm trying to get the interview that nobody's ever gotten before. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll watch like every single interview that someone's ever done or something like that, and then ask the question that should have been asked. Like a lot of people ask on the surface kind of questions.
That's fucking dope.
A lot of people ask on the surface questions, and then like you kind of like reply the same thing for every single interview. And I know the guest has got to be tired of saying the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean? So like when I watch an interview, I'll be like, this person should have asked this follow-up question. So I'm going to phrase my question so they have to respond in that way.
Damn.
Not just respond with it. You know what I mean? Like, so dope, I always try to get that. So a lot of times when people watch my interviews, they always go, man, like, I can't believe that you got like those kind of details out of the person to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even like if you listen to my voice, like I talk soft for a reason when we're doing an interview. That's not how I normally talk like in real life necessarily, but it's like I talk that way to make the person feel comfortable.
Yeah, like a therapist or something, like someone that's
right, like kind of like that's like the approach, because that's what you want. You want the person to feel as comfortable as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool that you like structure it that way. Everything. Because
like I could tell that you were surprised that I even knew about that song, Dad. Like when I brought it up, you were like, wow, like,
well,
damn,
it was
you went back.
And the way you led up to it too, we was talking about my dad and you was asking me questions and shit like that. And then you were like, yo, so that song. And I'm just like, hold up. Like nobody's ever gone that far back in my catalog of music to mention.
Bro, I was on your MySpace.
We was wait, you mean you just went and looked at my MySpace?
Yeah, I saw like how much songs you have on your MySpace from back in the day and everything.
Damn, I don't even know how to maneuver through I don't think I've been on MySpace in years. I wouldn't even know what to click on.
You can't play the songs anymore for some reason, but like, and like your picture is gone, but like I see like all the songs that you had on there. It was a grip of songs that you had on there too.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's dope.